Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time once again. The college football playoff bracket has now sent us to the second round of competition. 12 teams began their quest for a national championship. Now we have our elite 8 teams. These 8 teams will compete to hopefully become the final 4. And without further ado, here are your 8 remaining teams. In the top of the bracket, you have the Texas Longhorns going up against the Arizona State Wildcats. They will be playing January 1st, 2025. Kicking off the new year at 12 Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, in Atlanta, Georgia, as part of the Peach Bowl. Now, Texas defeated Clemson in the first round. Now they are here at the quarterfinals. Whereas the number 4 Arizona State Wildcats, they're one of the 4 teams who received a bye and didn't have to compete last week. I don't know how big that advantage will be. We will predict the games here in a little bit. Next, the Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked number 8 in this tournament, will take on number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks. They will play on January 1st as well at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time in the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California. Then you have Penn State taking on Boise State. Number 6 Penn State defeated SMU. Now they'll be competing in the Varela. I can't say the sponsor's name, but they'll be in the Fiesta Bowl today, December 31st, 2024, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or Central Time, 7:30 Central Time, or Eastern Time, I'm sorry. Should be a fun one. And then, to close it out, Notre Dame, number 7 Notre Dame, will take on number 2 Georgia in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana, January 1st, 2025 at 7:45 Central Time, 8:45 Eastern Time. Georgia was on a bye, whereas Notre Dame defeated Indiana. Now we will look at the game picks. Now, last week I predicted that the home teams would win their games. Texas did that. Ohio State did that. Penn State did that. And Notre Dame won as well. Now I'm thinking it's going to be all over the board. And we've seen, in NFL tournaments or NFL playoffs, where being the number 1 or the number 2 seed, back then it was the first and second seeds, receiving the bye, but we've seen the first and second seeds, fail because they had that extra week. The interesting is for these games, is each one pretty much had a 2-week bye in there. And I know some of that had to do with school and all that and other activities going on. But it's going to be interesting how this goes. This is going to be the first time this happens. For Texas and Arizona, Texas was in the Big 12. Arizona State is in the Big 12, but they were part of the Pac-12 last year. Both teams moved up in competition, but I think Texas is more ready for competition than Arizona State. So I'm going to pick number 5, Texas Longhorns, to take down number 4, Arizona State. Next, you have Ohio State taking on Oregon. Both of these teams are high-scoring teams. I'm going to go with Oregon, though, to take the win, making this a Texas-Oregon matchup, in the next game on January 10th. Not to be biased, but that's kind of how I see it on that side of things. And then you have Penn State taking on Boise State. 6-3 matchup. Penn State is, they're good too. Boise State's good. Boise State's not going to be on the blue turf, but I think Boise State has this one. And then you have Notre Dame taking on Georgia. Georgia without their quarterback, without their leader on the field. I'm thinking that Penn State has this one and will move on to take on Boise State in the semifinal matchup. So I'm predicting Texas and Oregon versus Boise State and Notre Dame. That's where I'm kind of seeing things playing out, in the college football playoff this go around. So, that's what I'm predicting. That's my final thoughts. Enjoy the college football. Enjoy New Year's Eve. Be safe. And with that, Die Hard Football Podcast is ended for 2024. I'll be back next time in 2025. So with that, enjoy the football.